Shut up and sit down.
Hey, it's Deaf Man from Deaf Man Vinyl, here to talk with you today about cleaning your vinyl records, or really more accurately, how not to clean your vinyl records. I always say if you want to start a fight, go to a record show and ask 5 vinyl heads the best way to clean a record, and you will get a rumble, because everybody thinks they know the best way to clean records, and they will absolutely bore you to tears with their 12-step anal retentive method for cleaning vinyl. I gotta tell you, I clean tons of records every day, either for Deaf Man Vinyl or for my own collection, and I've learned a couple painful lessons. And so I'm gonna share them with you today and hopefully show you how to
clean your damn
records. Okay, so here's the thing. Before we even get started, I want you to put away the record cleaning solution, put away the Windex, the alcohol, whatever somebody has told you to use to clean your records. You never start wet. You always start dry. You get the dust off first. When you mix liquids with dust, you get mud. When the mud gets in the grooves, you get concrete. It doesn't work. Always start dry. Okay, so when you're cleaning records, you gotta start with understanding the enemy. And the enemy is dust. And dust is freaking everywhere. It's on your record jacket, it's on the inner sleeve, you got cat hair, you got Roomba exhaust, it's everywhere. And so we start there. And the second thing to understand is that a record is an electrostatically charged, dust-sucking magnet. So static electricity is the second enemy, and it attracts the first enemy, which is the dust. So literally, the simple act of pulling this record out of the jacket causes static electricity. So what I want to show you is how really just a simple change in the way you hold your record when you clean it can make all the difference in the world. Because most of us kind of do something like this, right? We kind of hold the record like this, we might brush it like that, or if you've got a carbon fiber brush, you're kind of going like this. And you've got to remember, just the act of doing that ignites kind of that static electricity. So most of us think we're kind of brushing the dust out into space, but what's really happening is that dust is jumping around to the other side of the record because of the static charge. So trust me, you wind up playing this frustrating version of vinyl whack-a-mole. The dust is on one side, you flip it over, oh crud, the dust is still there. You keep flipping, you never really get the dust off. And then maybe you're one of those guys like me, I used to do this all the time, where you actually try to clean the record on the turntable. So you get the record spinning and then you get down there with your brush. And again, this is on the turntable, the electrostatically charged turntable. And now you've kind of just brushed dust off onto the surface of the turntable, and it's there waiting for the next unsuspecting electrostatically charged piece of vinyl to come along, and there goes the dust. So with all that static electricity holding the dust onto your record, you really have to get deep down into those grooves with your cleaning brush. But you just can't do that. You can't put the pressure in when the record's sitting like that in your hand. You just can't get down there in the grooves. Same thing with your turntable. You just can't put enough pressure on it when it's sitting on the turntable. You need to have your record laying flat on a static-free surface. And I'm going to show you the best way to do that.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
So clean off a space and find a clean, lint-free piece of fabric. Lay that down. It could be a placemat. I've got this fancy linen napkin that I stole off a cruise ship one time. So my apologies, Norwegian Joy, but it works really well. And my wife made these really cool record cleaning mats with a rubber back that kind of neutralizes any kind of static charge. We've got them on the website. We've got Grateful Dead, AC/DC. They're really kind of cool. But whatever you use, a clean, lint-free cloth or piece of fabric, set it down. That way you can get the record down and you can really kind of get into those grooves. And so we start out with a record brush, carbon bristles that kind of knock the static down. This is from Vinyl Style. It's got nice short bristles on it. And so the idea with the brush This isn't to totally clean the record. This is to get down into those grooves and bring everything to the surface. So I'm gonna go like this, gonna kind of brush around, brush around, brush around. And if you can see, it's left a nice line right where all that dust is. Now, normally, what we were talking about before, I'd kind of brush that out into space. You know, I try to do that, but when I flip the record over, there it is. Because again, it's statically charged, so it's jumped from one side to the other. Here's the trick, the thing that overcomes the problem with the static. So we're actually gonna just kind of bring it right to the edge, and now I'm gonna sweep it off. And I know this sounds like when I'm doing it, it's kind of a no-brainer, but I just had never thought of it before, and I was driving myself crazy trying to get dust off. And so that's why I want to share it with you. So it's actually coming off, and there's just a tiny bit of edge of the record sticking over the edge, and so that dust isn't getting statically charged and come back around. And so this side is clean, and now when I flip it over, same thing. This side is totally clean. I didn't have any kind of static vortex dragging that dust over to the other side. Now's when we kind of switch gears. I'm putting this away. Now I'm getting just kind of my classic record cleaning brush, and they're all basically the same. It's some kind of almost like a velvety material, you know, with a handle. And what's happening with this is actually, it's gonna take the dust off the surface that we brought up with the carbon bristle brush. And to keep things moving, I use two different pads. I use a flat one, just that classic one that we all have. And then I use a rounded one. And this is a classic disc washer from back in the day. If back in the 70s and 80s, man, if you were serious about clean records, you had one of these. And so I start with my flat, and basically what I'm doing is kind of mopping up all that dust that my carbon fiber brush brought to the surface. And this will pick up most of it, but it'll still leave a little line on there. And that's where that rounded brush comes in. Because what you're doing there is just a little wrist action. You're going like that, and you're always putting a clean surface down on the record. So I'm going like this, and it's picking it up, picking it up, picking it up, and I go like that. And so simple as that. And that's a pretty clean record.
Several song-filled hours later.
So hopefully you've enjoyed listening to that nice clean record. Literally, I'm gonna say 90% of the surface noise that you hear on a record is dust. Unless you've got, you know, unless it's shot through with hairlines and scratches, or it's been played with a cruddy needle and there's some damage down the grooves. Most of that noise is coming from dust, and hopefully I've shared with you a couple tips to get it out of there and enjoy a nice clean record. So now you got one last step. After you've done listen to the record and you pull it out, get rid of this. Get rid of the nasty old inner liner. Those things are dust magnets. They got little paper fibers. They're holding dust. So get rid of that. And don't be cheap. Go ahead and literally for pennies, you can buy fresh inner liners. We've got these on the website. If you really want to go, archival quality, you can get some inner liners that actually have a polyethylene inner sleeve and a static sleeve. All good things to protect your vinyl from the enemy. And again, the enemy is dust and static electricity. So it's been great hanging out with you for a couple minutes. If you've got any questions, drop me a comment, or you can check us out here or here. And until next time, keep them spinning.